Good morning and welcome to the SHAC. Happy Monday. My name's Barbara Gray from Clarity here in the UK, and we're here to keep you company as always. So come on in. The old weather's changing, isn't it? Yeah, I know. The temperature dropped radically, and it's been tipping down with rain here in the southeast of England. So come on in. Tell me where you are. Tell me what the weather's like. How are you? Glasses are filthy, as always. And we've got a lovely new project lined up for you this morning. I thought we'd start something new. Having completed the hips and haws and the joined up writing for the stems, I thought that was rather nice. I thought I'd move on to something else, just 'cause we can. I'm not even sure that we finished the hips and haws. I did in my head. We can always go back to it, can't we? Because we're only meeting once a week at the moment. Good morning, come on in. Because we're only meeting once a week nowadays. You know, one little project can take a month, can't it? Which is, it drags. So it would be nice if we could start something new today, I think. So there you go. And I blogged this morning. Lovely sunshine here in East Sussex on the coast. That's great, Lynn. Nice to see you. Nice to see you also, Naheed and Ken. Great. Paul's in the room with your good selves. If you have any questions, I'm sure that he will give you the links. Jackie Cooling, it's the same people as every Monday, and I'm so happy to have your company. Good. Any questions, ask Paul. So as our friends start to find us, let me see, what else did I want to tell you about this afternoon? Look, I'll show you what I've done. This is the sum of my prep. Yeah, look, new trees. There you go. I know. Winging it. No, not at all. I've done my prep, and I'll show you what we need to get started in a minute. This afternoon at 2 o'clock. We're having a pop-it party at the moment. So please join us at 2 o'clock. I think you'll enjoy the pop-it party. We're going to have a little refresher lesson on how to use. That would be a good idea. Seems like I lost you there for a minute. Are we back? That's strange. I don't know. Technology. There's something going on my window here about protection. I don't know. I need protecting. Paul, could you just let me know that everything is fine with the stream? All good, says Paul. Okay. I know that there's a little bit of a delay, but I'm sure they'll come running in if there's something wrong. I blogged this morning about the pop-it party, and I said I'll either stream from home or I'll stream from here. And Paul says it went blue for a second, but all good. Good. Nice to have your company too, Anne and Sue. So yeah, this afternoon we're going to be having a little look at those beautiful puffer poppets, and at a great price, because it's Christmas. It's really getting close now. That 100 Days to Christmas blog idea of mine is bringing me up sharp every single morning. I don't know about you. I think it's 31 days to Christmas now. Yikes. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I thought about it this morning. You know, how many turkeys have we cooked? How many turkeys have we served? You know, plenty. So I'm sure that this will be fine too. And it's not about the turkey and the presents and all the trimmings. It's about getting together with family, having a few days off. That's what this is all about. I think so. And, you know, it's up to each and every one of us how much work and stress we impose on Christmas, isn't it? You know? So, like I always say, the turkey's ordered. That'll do, donkey. let's get started. And then we can always chat as we go. So I want to show you, I haven't completed the job because I thought we'll work in 2 sessions, maybe even 3 sessions, but it'll be fun. And the other thing is, once I teach you this little process, it's really simple. We touched on this once before. I remember we did something like this a couple of years ago in the shack. Now we're going to go for it, right? And we're going to do some trees, but we're going to create the shapes, create the landscape, and then infill the trees, okay? So I'll show you what we're doing, and then you'll understand. Now, let me see, where shall I start? Okay, so if I show you where we're headed, so this isn't finished. This isn't finished, friends, but it's gonna be it's gonna be good, okay? Let's go in a bit closer and let's see. So we've got, what do we need here? This is something that we could really do together. I think we should do this together. Have you got the following? Because this is what we're going to need, okay? Let's have a look at this. So how did I get that? Let's pan out a little bit and then I'll show you the process and what we're going to do together. So the first thing is we're going to cut out these triangles. So these are all the different trees. So that's pretty simple, okay? And it's, so to do that, what do I need? Well, I need tracing paper, okay? So I need some tracing paper. I need a pencil and I need a ruler and I need a pair of scissors. Okay, so to do this, which is the main thrust of the job, I need tracing paper, a ruler, a pencil and a pair of scissors. I'm sure we can find that in our cupboard, okay? Now let's have a look, because you'll see that I've numbered them, not without reason. Here are the cutouts and I've numbered them as well. So just that way, you've got masks. You're cutting out your masks. So when you start to layer up the trees, you can cover up the tree in front. It's like stamping, except we're not stamping. We're just using shapes, masks and stencils, if you like. They're like handmade stencils, aren't they? So let's take a look here. And you can see that I've got all the triangles here. Look, just to show you, in case you're not quite sure what I'm talking about. Number 1 fits number 1, etc., etc., etc. So number 3 fits number 3 hole. See? So that's, you want to hang on to these because these are your masks, these bits. Okay, so I've got that and I've got that. We'll do it together anyway. That's that. And that's how you build this. And the ones at the front are the ones you do first. Then you cover them up. I'm telling you the process now. You cover them up with whatever one you use, right? Let's say that one's probably this one here. So that's number 3, see? So I put that one in first, just in a nutshell. Then I pop that there, hold it in place with a little piece of masking tape. So add masking tape to the things you need. Okay, then I can add ink to the background without going over the front, and you can see the ink landed on the mask. So it worked that time. So it worked yesterday, so I can't see why it won't work today, friends. Good. And what did I use to do the colour? I know. Right, most of us have got some ink pads, so it's up to you now. Seasons. Yeah, seasons of mist and mellow fruitfulness. Which way do you want to go? Do you want to go blues and teals? You want to go blues and teals? Get your blues and teals out. I'm using Distress Oxides. Want to go autumnal? Get your reds and oranges and yellows out. But you can see here, I've just grabbed a bunch of different colours. You can blend them beautifully. And what did I use, do you think, to actually apply this lot? So we've got gathered twigs, uncharted mariner, peacock feathers, tumbled glass, evergreen bough, twisted citron. those are the ones that I used. You can use any colours you like. It's all about contrast with this trick. So when you're putting two trees next to each other, just use contrasting colours. My thoughts on this were that once we've done this, once we've done this, this and this, then we're going to add the landscape and the patterns on the trees and the white Posca pens, and we can decorate them. But we need the basics first. How's that sound? So it's like a homemade stencil, really, isn't it? Yeah. Jane says that she's going to make the triangles out of mask material. My thoughts exactly, Jane. But I can't assume that everybody watching here has got mask material. And I can guarantee you that we will be selling cutouts ready for making this with mask material. And we will have that on the shop, in the shop, on Clarity Web within the week. But I was working on this on Sunday, and so it's like the old Velcro laces idea, you know. If you can get shoes with Velcro to do them up, of course you can. And a lot of us do use Velcro shoes and slippers especially, okay? But it's always a good idea to know how to tie your shoelaces. And with this, we're going to get those triangle masks ready for you. Of course we are. But it's always a good idea to know how to make them from scratch yourself, okay? Right, now, so let's take a look at this. And the first thing we're going to do, let's get started and then we can get chatting. I'm going to take a piece of tracing paper. Let's take a piece of tracing paper out of the block. There you go. And then I'll pop it, maybe I'll pop it on a piece of white copy paper so that you can see what I'm doing better. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start folding it. You can see here, I've just folded it over once like that, and then I'll cut out. But I think I'll start with the large one and then we'll take it from there, okay? Now, one of the things that I noticed when I was doing this was that right, tip number one, this is just my findings. Tip number one, I think the trees look good when they're thinner and taller. Like most of us, really. And because we're cutting on a fold, right, you've got to think, if you go in an inch on, then it's going to be a 2-inch base to the tree. So it's huge, right? So that's the first thing. You've got to kind of think quite narrow because you're always going to double it because you're cutting on the fold, okay? And secondly, when we do this, we want to change. You're using the top part of the tree. You don't have to use the whole piece, but you'll have different angles depending on how wide it is at the bottom. Okay, so let's get started and let's just aim on just change it. It doesn't. It's not rocket science, but you just need to think that you're going to double that base. Okay. Right. So first one first, and we're just going to take this and we're going to fold it. It might be better. Yeah, might be better like that. So fold it like that. Doesn't have to be like an inch. I don't know. Look, if you want to know exactly how much to fold it by, there you go. I've done 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches. And then I'm going to cut it. So let's say this is going to be tree number 1. So if I call the base there, you need to leave yourself enough of a gap that you're going to have enough to sponge, because we're going to use, I think I stopped midstream. We're going to use spot-on sponges to apply the colour, okay? Because you get a really nice, crisp edge Any makeup sponge will do. Spot on sponges are brilliant. They work and the price is great. Okay, now let's have a look. So I will put this under this so I don't draw all over the counter. So I'm going to go for a 3-inch. I'm starting with the largest and working my way backwards. So let's call this one 3 inches tall. So I'm measuring the height of the tree. It's 3 inches. And I think this one, I'll probably go 3/4 of an inch. Yeah, somewhere around there, like that. I think that'll be a good one. So about just under 3/4 of an inch. I'm always going to make it a little bit thinner than I'd like. See, that's it on a fold. That'll be nice. So now what I can do is I can cut that out. So I could turn this round and pencil that side in as well, which I did before. But to be honest, it's easiest just to do it like this. So then I'm going to do each one as I get to it. That one, and then I'm using big scissors for this one. So that's my mask, and that's my stencil. So I'm going to pop this on here. I'm going to say, actually, I'm working on this side. So I'm going to call this 1 and this one 1. Okay? Good. So that's 1 done. 1 down, 6 to go. So what I'll do is I'll fold again, and we're just going to go to the next fold, and I'm going to go the same distance, about 1.5 inches, just giving myself enough room to, let's have a look, just giving myself enough room to come in with the makeup sponge. You see? So I can go like that, take that off there, and I know that I've got enough room there, and I've got my number 1 as well. Okay? Right, now, next one. But this time, I'll go up the other end because otherwise they get too close. So this time I'm going to come up this end. Sound good? So you'll see here, for example, 1, then I've got 2 here. So 2 is a little bit fatter, a little bit shorter, a little bit wider. Okay, so let's go again. And I'll bring the 2 in down here. I'm going to go 3/4 of an inch down here again, just up the same as that. So I'm going to say 3/4 of an inch will do, like that. And this time I'll make it a little bit shorter. There's no rhyme or reason to any of this. Okay, it's just completely random. But let's say this one's going to be a bit not 3 inches, it's going to be 2.5 inches. So then we'll go to there, do that, and then I'll cut that out as well. Okay, so this is number 2 now. Who's doing this with me? Anybody? That's that one. See, I like the big shears because it goes right in one sweep like that. And if I miss, it doesn't have to be exactly on the line either. It's not rocket science, but you get a different shape. So now this one is number 2. Number 2. It helps to number them, okay? And then I'll just put the fold. I'm bending the fold out against itself because otherwise it. Oh, dodgy past here. Look, rolling my own now. Did you used to do roll-ups? I did. I was the world's fastest roller-upper. Misspent youth. Right, so then I've done 2. 1, 2. Next one is number 3. Let's take that out of the way because I think you can see it better. See? So I'm just measuring up that side there. So it won't take long to do this. Now we've got number 3. I'm going to bring this in so I don't draw on my table again. Now, the little ones and the thin ones are the ones that I like, but we can put them in afterwards. So now this time, I'm going to go, these were all 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to go 1/2 inch now, getting smaller. 1/2 inch in, but this one was 2.5. I think I'm going to go 2 on this one. 2 or 2.5, then it'd be really long and skinny. Let's do a 2.5 one. We can always do a smaller one later. There you go. It's easy. It's very easy, isn't it? And the thing is, once you've done this template, you can use it again and again and again, can't you? There you go. So this one's number 3. Oh, what a mindful process. The thing about doing things like this, apart from the fact that you're going to get a nice result, takes your mind off anything else, doesn't it? I enjoyed doing this yesterday. I really did. I spent the whole day yesterday. I went upstairs into my art room to tidy it up because it got beyond a joke. It really had got beyond a joke. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4. I'm thinking I might do a little squat one. Okay, 3/4 of an inch wide. Let's have a look. What did I do for number 4? Just bear with me a second, because I know this little fat one worked quite well. Yeah, 3/4 of an inch by 1 3/4. All right. So yeah, so I went upstairs, 3/4 of an inch. That's going to be 1.5 inches wide. See, got to think double. And then what did I say? 1 3/4 tall. Okay, that'll do. And then I just stayed up there the whole day. Loved it. Got loads done. Right, there you go. Got loads done. I did the first in the morning. I did the treasure hunt. You know, the hunt that we start on the 1st of December. Because I woke up and I thought, it's the 1st of December next week, and we haven't thought about it yet. So those rhyming couplets needed to be written. So I did that in the morning. I don't think I even got dressed. I was sitting at the computer, doing little poems. And then I went outside to tidy up, and then I just thoroughly enjoyed myself out there. So that was cool. And I ticked loads of boxes and got ahead of the week, you know. And I know many people say, oh, you should have your Sundays off. But I can't enjoy my Sunday off if I've got a list of things to do as long as my arm. Because then I just think about that all the time. Because then I know Monday's going to be monstrous. 1, 2, 3, 4. As it is, Monday's great because I was able to walk in and go, done it, done it, done it, done it, done it. See? Yeah, I know. So that felt quite good. Achievement. I think I'm a workaholic. I think it's official. It's all right. I think worse things to do. It's constructive work. It's creative work. It's mindful work. It's lovely work. And now I'm sharing. I mean, what else? What else? What beats that, hey? Sharing ideas. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we're going to go to 5. I need to go to 5. Now, why have I... Okay, because we... Yeah, right. Right, one more. 5. We can do 2 more folds, see? So there's another fold. Now I'm going to come up the other end, though. Up the other end. Now, this time, I think I want to do a really nice little one. So that means I'm going to go... This is going to be a rinky-dink one. Oh. So I'll stick to the inches, and I'm going to go... See, if I go... I know this is crazy, but it's the best one. 1/4 of an inch that way, and then maybe, what do I think, about 2 inches tall, and then it'll be a real skinny one. Okay, real skinny, like that. And look at that. But when you cut it out, it's twice as thick. So we're going to go real skinny one like that. And I think it's good to do one at a time as well. And the other thing is, you can add if you feel you need to. So there you go. We've got that one as well. We'll just open this one up and then fold it back against itself. This is quite a thin mask, isn't it? There you go. So what we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 5. This is a 5. 5. Cool. Now we're going to go 6. Right, 6, I think I'm going another big one. One more fold. That'll do. There. So, number 6 up this end. So let's have a look. Generally speaking, what have we got and what do we need? I think we could do with one that's a little bit short. There are a lot of tall ones here. But you see, the thing is, right, this is the thing. The thing is, if I wanted it to be not as tall, then I'd just mask off. I've got loads of options. Look, endless heights, right? Do you see what I mean? So I can make them any height. So why don't I do a large one up this end? Yes. And then, but with the thought in mind that I could change the height of it. So I'm going to go for a tall one again, because you might want 2 at the same time, eh? All right, so I'm going to go tall. I'm going to just make it a bit different. That much. And I think I'll go like 3 inches again. I'll go 3 inches. There you go. But it's a little bit skinnier than number 1. Like that. That'll do. So we've got 6. If you want more, you can make more as you go along, can't you? So as I was saying, when I was doing all this yesterday, I didn't listen to music. I don't know about you. I worked in silence. I didn't listen to a book. I just stayed with my hands and got really arty and did loads of prep. Now we've got 5, number 6. And Dave came upstairs periodically and gave me a cup of tea, which was very kind of him. There you go. So we've got 6. If I want a 7th one, I can always add it later, I think. Or I can grab one of these, because I've done it before. Yeah. So now I've got those, and I've got my masks there, right? I've got that, and I've got that, and I've got that. There you go. Let me put the ones that I've already done over to one side. And I'll keep the things that I need right in front of me. So I've got my mask. It gets a bit fiddly. It does get fiddly, this. But the thing about fiddly, I mean, it's all relative. It's not that fiddly. The thing about fiddly work is it makes you focus. Fiddly for focusing. And when you're focusing, your mind's not straying. So even though I worked in silence for hours, yeah, my mind was on what I was doing the whole time, without a shadow of a doubt. So now the next thing I need is, or what we're going to use, is stencil card. 7x7 stencil card. And it doesn't, we might trim it down. See, the thing is, we're going for the whole scene. But if you wanted to do mini makes, then you could just take 2 of the trees or 3 of the trees. What I'm teaching you to do today is showing you how to layer them up. Okay? I mean, yeah, of course, instant masks, that's why we make them. But this is a great way to make your own. Right, so we've got our stencil card, and then you need your low tack tape. And then what we'll do is we'll make a frame all around. Let me show you it so you know where we're headed. Frame all around. And all I've done is just wrapped it around the back so that it didn't stick. Yeah, like that. That's it there. See? So we're going to go all 4 sides, and we're going to the width of the, so it's 1 inch pretty much all the way around. It just gives you a nice frame. Okay. What it does is it gives you apart from giving you a nice white frame down the road, it makes the canvas, for want of a better word, smaller. Okay. So that means, it makes it easier to handle. And because it's low tack tape card, this isn't the hard bit, Barbara. Because it makes it smaller, like literally by 3/4 of an inch, or nearly an inch. Let's have a look. There you go. It's nearly an inch wide. So you're going from 7 inches down to just over 5 inches, the centerpiece. See, that makes a difference. So if I come in here now, just to show you, it just makes it, see, just over 5 inches in the middle. And that, my friends, the difference between a 7-inch canvas and a 5-inch canvas is already quite relaxing. It makes it so much easier and more achievable. So when we get to 3.5 inch, lovely. Only need 2 trees or 3 trees, pint size. Do you see? And that's really why our mini makes have been so popular. You know, we do mini makes Monday, which is this afternoon. We do mini makes. We've got ATCs. We've got that brilliant Facebook page, Clarity Crafts, mini makes and ATCs, you know, and there's got to be 1,100 or 1,200 people now, and growing, you know, because people look for calm in their art. And I've said it all along, the smaller the art, the calmer you feel, really. So let's have a look what we got. 3 sides, 4 sides. Having said that, yesterday, I had such a result. You know, when every now and again you do something, I'm going to show you though, every now and again, you know, you do a bit of artwork and then you're just chuffed. Do you ever get that? I was thinking only yesterday, funny enough, while I was working, I don't do enough art anymore. You know, I seem to just be so busy working on the business, keeping the business going, keeping Clarity afloat, you know, driving the sales, driving the business, that I don't have a lot of time to do art for art's sake. You understand? And but a lot of my work, it entails art, doesn't it? And so I console myself with that and think, well, it could be a lot worse ways to make a living. Yeah? But yesterday I had to make, so what I'm doing now, I'm just going to make a hill here, just a little one. See, with the masking tape, let me come in real close so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. There. So what I've done is I've straddled, and all I've done is made a little bit of a curve on it. Doesn't matter if it's overlapped. What that'll do is it will just make sure that you position the stencils and the masks, the cutouts that we've done here, in the right place. You can always lift it away afterwards and we can move it, but it just means that you give yourself a little bit of land, right? Yeah. So what I'm going to do now is just take this. Let me pan out a little bit because this is a bit close, friends. There you go. Right. I'll just take that, and then we're going to go from there, and then I'm going to come up like that, and then I'm just going to come over, make a little curve. It's all right. Don't worry about all that down there. It doesn't signify. That's all I'm interested in, is making that curve. Do you see? That'll do. Right. And then that'll be the place where, there, see? And then everything else will be above that. So all my triangles now, I've got to fit in there somehow. Let's have a look at the tallest one, number 1. Number 1. Yeah, perfect. Doesn't matter where it goes, it will fit. Sounds good. Right, so I think I might just take that off there, though. It's a little bit, it's one of them irritating ones, isn't it? Good. I'll hang on to that because I'll need it in a minute for holding my masks in place, my mechanical masks. Good. So let's take a look at my artwork, and then I'll show you the artwork that I got really stoked about yesterday, because it's actually the polar opposite of small. You know, I did a piece of artwork for the project club, for the stencil club, and I'll show you the stencil, and I'm breaking all the rules here, but do you know what? My rules. And I want to encourage you to join the Clarity Clubs, especially the Stencil Club. If you're in the Stamp Club, double down and join the Stencil Club as well. The two just sing together. If you're not in any clubs and you're not sure which way to go, then if you're groovy, then clearly you need to join the Groovy Club. Stamps and stencils for me are kind of, they go together, you know, they do. And so I'll show you in a minute where I went. And to me, it's interesting because this is a kind of a stencil exercise, what we're doing here, except we've created our own stencil. Yeah. And I'll show you the project that I did because I was so chuffed with it. And so there are two projects. Jane Telford will have done one of the projects. Hers is excellent too. We're going to keep that one a secret because you know, you get these booklets, beautiful double projects, all step-by-step photographs, color, and you get the stencil as well. So it's education, education, education. So you're going to get this stencil. Anyway, I had it in my mind's eye what I was going to do with the stencil. And it worked. And I was really chuffed. So Jane, I know you're in the room. Do me a favor, hold your project back because it's absolutely spectacular. And we'll hold that back so that our existing club members have at least one surprise. I'm blowing the doors off on mine in hopes that other people will see the benefits and merits of joining the project clubs. The thing about the Clarity Clubs is, quite aside from the fact that if you join one club, you get 10% discount on all your purchases, 2 clubs, 12.5%, 3 clubs, 15%. I mean, quite aside from that huge savings on all purchases and sales, right? You also get this monthly envelope with a newsletter that I write myself and the double projects, the booklets, which are wonderful. Okay, I don't have to show you that. I need to show you my stencil project. But let's get started first, and then I'll show you in a minute. Who here isn't in the stencil club? And be careful what you say, because if you're not in the stencil club, what I'm saying to you is read the room. You need to join the stencil club if you can. It's fabulous. I also think that the Stamp and Stencil Club, which are the two that I do the projects for with Jane, Linda and Jane do the groovy one. Jane and I do the stencil and the stamp one together. We're the project leaders on those. And what I think is that this year, we haven't shouted about it, but what Jazz and I, who designed the stamps and the stencils, what we've said is, what can we do to make it better? What can we do to improve it? What can we do? How can we change it? How can we? So the stamps are getting better. The stamps, now you're not just getting a stamp, you're getting a stamp set. You know, with the stencils, we're looking at them. And I've said all through the year, what we submit, what we offer up in the clubs has to be the best of what we do, the absolute best of what we do. These people are our club members and they need club member quality, club member status. It's like flying business class, you know. And so so the stencils are getting better, the designs are getting better, and I see this all the time on Facebook and on reviews when people write in and they love the new stamps, the new stencils, the new groovy plates. Everything that we're doing is very carefully vetted, monitored. What we submit through the club is always the best that we do. There you go. So let's get started with this. We've got our opening now, and now we need this. Right, so let's just fold back on it so that we're not dealing with a crease. Just fold back a little bit so we're not dealing with the crease. And then yeah, good. And this week, what's coming up this week? Well, tomorrow, pop-it party this afternoon at 2 o'clock. Tomorrow, Groovy Tuesday with lovely Lou. And then in the afternoon, pop-it party continues I mean, these are great prices. When you see the prices, it's like excellent prices. Okay, I'm going to start with the ones at the front. See, because you tend to think you've got to put, it's like stamping. You put whatever's at the front. So I've got to put the smaller ones at the front. So pick one, pick any one you fancy. I think I'm going to go with this one, number 3. Right, so that's what I've got. And I'm going to leave a little room because in a minute I want to add all the stalks and that. We're decorating, so I need to leave a little piece there. Yeah. So low tack tape to hold it in place. Now, what was I saying? Right, and we'll make sure that it's straight so it's not on the wonk. That's it. And then we'll just hold it in place like that with a bit of low tack tape. We can use the same tape again and again. Right, all nice and free. Nowhere is there a... And then I could take my sponges. Right. And I'll tell you what I do need, just because I know I do. I need a piece of copy paper under here so that I can dab, you know, excess ink. I think I'll start with a blue. I'll start with Uncharted Mariner. I love that colour. It's quite a dark blue, but it's different shades, 50 shades. Isn't it? Let's have a look. So you think about tracing paper is where it's quite smooth. So you can smooth, it's like working off a... Where have I gone here? I'm not doing that one, I'm doing this one. Hell, Barbara. Right, here we go. Not that one, this one. That's all right, this one's going to go off the page. Right. What have I done there now? That's okay. As soon as I saw the masking tape there, I thought, well, that doesn't track, does it? Never mind. I'm going to work out how to hide that. That's my challenge to myself now. Don't do what I just did. Right, so what we got this week? Yeah, Groovy Tuesday tomorrow. Pop It Party tomorrow as well. I think I'll put a little bit of shadow on this side. There we go. So you can drag or you can pounce. Yeah, then Wednesday, I'm on telly up in Birmingham or Redditch at Hobby Maker, which I'm looking forward to. That'd be nice. And so that'll be a long day though. But we're going to go up there. So that's Wednesday. And the hours, if I'm not mistaken, are 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock. So 1 till 2, then 3 till 4. So there you go. That'll be interesting. Right, that'll do. Nice. I've got a lake over there. That's all right. That's fine. So this was number 3. Okay. Number 3. So I'm going to take my number 3 mask like so. And that one will cover up this one perfectly. Okay. So we'll pop that on there like so. And that covers that one up. Then you need a little bit of masking tape, because this is what holds everything in place. Like I say, it feels a bit fiddly, but it isn't really. It's fine. Just hold it in place like that. Make sure that it's covering. And then pop that in there like so. So that should hold in place like that. Okay? That'll hold. And then, like, I want to put one over to the side of this tree. So I think I'll probably, just because, so that it doesn't move, I'll just do that as well. So that's holding that in place. There. So that's that one done, and it's masked off. Now I want another one there. But I'm going to put probably, maybe, yeah, let's just build it up. I'll do this one here now. So you can see the process of the, you can see the process, how this works. So I've got number 6, okay, but I don't want it to be that tall. I don't want that one to be so tall. So I'm just explaining all the different tricks here. So we've covered up the one in the background, right? So we take another bit of masking tape. Be good. And then we're going to make sure it's straight. And then I'll just, I want to decide where I want, if that's there, I want that one to be there, but I want it to stop there. Do you see? So it's behind the tree, It's behind this one, but it's a little bit taller. There you go. So this is the area that I've got to look at. Now I need a contrast. So last time I went with a really dark blue. So anything is going to be lighter than that. So how about I go tumbled glass? Yeah, let's do a tumbled glass. Nice light blue. Except I'll use, what shall I use? What have we got there? Okay, tumbled blue. I can always, tumbled glass, I can always change it. Right, let's pounce. And let's just get that base colour in. Okay, so I know it's going to be different to that one because it's a lot lighter. Right, up we go. Sometimes the pencil will create a bit of a shadow. That's good though. I don't mind that. Right, here we go. So we just smooth that colour in. Could you use brushes? Yeah. Yeah, you could. But you're going to get a much sharper impression by using the sponges. And just remember, you don't want to make them too dark because we want to decorate them as well. So the more ink you put down, the darker it will get. I know, nothing like teaching you to suck eggs, is there? Right, and then if you want it to be really close to this existing, let me show you how you can squelch it like that. See? Right, this is the base. So let's just get that in there like that. Okay, so now we've done the second tree. And I'm just going to lift this one off like that. And that's behind that one. So if I lift this one, let me just show you. If I take this one away, there you go. It's coming a bit closer. And it's all about, there you go, I could come in a bit closer anyway. It's all about the process, see? So you do one tree at a time, one triangle at a time, one day at a time, just one thing at a time. You know, in the run up to Christmas, this is why I thought this would be a really good project for us to do. In the run up to Christmas, many of us can get into a bit of a spiral about stuff that is going to be over in 24 hours. You know, we can spend way too much money that we haven't got. We can think that we need to perform when we really don't need to. You know, we think that a house has to be perfect when it really doesn't. You know, I could be accused of all of those things. I spend too much money. I think it's got to be perfect. Everything has to be peachy. It's like some kind of Walt Disney film, but it isn't, you know. The reality is we are family and we get together and that's it, you know. And aren't we lucky that we're here, you know? And Catherine, I know you've got to move. I read in the blog very briefly this morning, Catherine P. She's in the middle of moving. Imagine that as well. And she's got a list. And she wrote on the blog, she said, pack boxes is on her list. And it seems like such just a little tiny pack boxes. Now imagine that. If you had to pack up your home 31 days before Christmas, imagine that. You know, that right sizes everything. If I've got to change the beds and wash the sheets, that's not the same as Catherine's pack boxes. Oh, poor woman, you know. But I remember when we moved into Tinker's Farm, I remember it was the week before Christmas. I remember the snow coming down, and I remember the boxes, the cats didn't know, the dogs didn't know where we lived anymore. It was chaos, right? But I remember it being the best Christmas. It was 2010. Do you remember? And the snow came down, and the bloody piano, the bloke that moved the piano, he got it as far as the garden gate, and then he said, it's an upright grand. You didn't pay to have an upright grand moved. That's as far as I'm taking it. And it was like, are you kidding me? And then the snow started coming down and the upright grand was standing outside on the path. Anyway, got the said upright grand in the house, shut the door, and then the snow came down. Do you remember? And we all got snowed in for a week. And I've often said to Dave, that was the best Christmas. You couldn't go anywhere. No one could come. For us, it was brilliant. And I remember Catherine climbing around boxes, not knowing, looking for the cats, basically. We didn't know where the cats were or the dog. But it was just, it was magical because it was snowing. And what's lovely is, if you know what I mean, when it snows, it's the quietness, because the snow, the blankets of snow, well, apart from stopping all the traffic, so there were no cars, but it just makes everything just wonderfully mute. Do you know what I mean? And I just remember it being a magical time. And it wasn't lockdown, it was, we were locked down because of the snow. But that was, we moved. So yeah, so back to the list. Poor old Catherine on her list, packed boxes. Yeah, I would make that stand out a bit bigger, Catherine, on my list. That's like saying, make a cup of tea. I tell you what, remember where you pack the kettle. That'd be on my list. Right, back to this. And moving is so stressful. Absolutely it is. So now we've done that one. So let me see. And I can tell from the colour that I used that that was number 1. See, that's the great thing about writing it down. So let's have a look. So that's number 1. So I can use that mask to cover up number 1. See, and I can see that that's going to fit exactly there. Like that. And then I'll take my little piece of masking tape again. Where did I put that? So if you fancy doing this, there you go. Let's have a look. So we do that. We'll pop that on there like so. So now we've got, I'm going to do the 3. Was that number 1? Let me have a little look. Or was that number 6? Because somehow that doesn't seem to fit. Oh, I'm glad I checked. That was number 6. See, it didn't feel right. There you go. That fits better. Oh, the joys of masking. Right, that fits. So we'll pop that on there like so. So that's in place. Cool, cool. Yeah, that makes complete sense. And I'm going to pop that one there like so that that's not moving. Yeah, because what I want to do is put a thin green one in the background. So then I've done a mini make. See, to all intents and purposes, I've done that one, and that one. This one's a little bit taller. Doesn't matter. Right, green one, skinny. That's this one. I'm going to go for number 5 now. And I'm going to pop it right there, like so. And that's it. We're going to do 1 tree at a time. Do you think you'd be able to do this by next week? Like, as in, do the whole thing, finish it? What do you think? And then next week, could you get it as far as that? Because then next week, what we could do is decorate it and turn it into a wonderful piece of artwork. Yeah? Go on. Give it a go. Right, now we're going to go for a really nice bright colour. I know. Total contrast. Remember, top tip, total contrast. That's what you need. So we went dark blue, light blue. Now we're going bright green. And the thing is, if you do this and you think, oh, it's not enough contrast, you can't see, right? Don't worry, worry not. Because then next week, we can either add a little bit more ink or we can add a bit of shade with our wonderful polychromos. Yeah, because that's going to be the next thing, isn't it? We need some colouring pencils. And I'm thinking that the polychromos are going to be the tickety-boo for that job. Right, green one coming up. So I need a mask. I need a sponge. I'm going to go with that sponge there. I've still got that other little issue to deal with. Don't sweat the small stuff. That is the absolute key to everything. Hey, just be very grateful. if you're sitting in the warm, dabbing ink through a piece of tracing paper, I'd say you're doing all right, friend. Right, there you go. Ding dong. I reckon that'll be a good one. Nice and sharp. Don't want it to move though. So you're going to hold it. Let's get that top bit done nicely. See, tracing paper is great for this because it really... I've still got to show you my pièce de résistance from the stencil club. And then that way, if you are in the stencil club, you know what's coming. And if you're not, then you know what to look forward to when you join. Right, let's have a look at this first. Let's see what we've got. We've got 3. And then I'm going to, so I've got all my bits. I can rearrange, rejiggle this, but I just want to show you the first 3. Right, so done that one. Done that one. Lift all that off. I love. There you go. So I've got got to keep hold of them. I'll put them in a little bag, I think. My little masks. Right, here we go. Masks a go. There, done that, looks sharp. So imagine, right, that just that on its own, and then it could, and then we're going to put the trunks in and decorate. It's going to be so lovely. White Posca pens are going to be here as well. I think they're already in the building, actually. They're very good. If not, they're definitely coming. So we've got white Posca pens, perfect. Polychromos, got them in the cupboard. Result. There you go. Right, now, let me just put this to one side. Thus endeth part 1. Next week, decide how far you want to go. Do you want to go all the way like that? And then we can start with that. Or do you just want to do little ones? And I tell you what, I bet we could chop it down the middle and make 2. Be cool too, wouldn't it? If you went all the way across like that, and then you just chopped it straight down the middle. And then do you see what I'm getting at? You could actually go off the page on either side, and it would be really cool. Just saying, right? Loads of different triangles, different contrasting colours. Nice. Okay, so that's the ink pads. That's all sorted. If there are any questions, now's the time to ask them. And then I will show you my stencil. So I'll show you the stencil, and then I'll show you the project. Right, let's have a look. Okay, so this is the stencil that is coming to you this month. Let's have a look. This is the December stencil, which is very lovely. It's an A5 stencil. It actually comes with the bits as well, so you get the masks, just like we've just done by cutting out those triangles and then piecing them back in. The main big pieces, this bit here, they also come. I don't think Lisa gives you all these bits, but she certainly, because that's easy to cover up. But the big cutout pieces, un, deux, trois, you definitely get in the set. Really excellent. So I got that, and I was thinking about what to do with it. The thing about masks, what I like about masks is they're double-sided. So you can go that way or you can go that way. And of course, the inners, the protective pieces, they work too. Paul's just said a few people are moving house before Christmas. Well, I hope it goes very, very smoothly. Anybody who's moving before Christmas has my deep felt sympathy, but I bet it'd be lovely when you get there. You know, I know from my own experience, there's something quite nice about unpacking everything fresh, you know, new beginnings, new year, new beginnings. You got to turn it round, friends. Now let's have a look at this little stencil, and then I'm going to show you what I did. And so I went that way, right? But no, I didn't. I went that way, and I did an alcohol print. Check it out. So that is an alcohol ink print. And And I've done a photo step by step to show you exactly how I made that alcohol print. And I not only did that, but waiter, I did the ghost print. So now you've got 2 for 1, yeah, which came out really nice. And then I got the third one, which was the one that was on the jelly plate. So now whatever, see, I wanted to get the snow on the rooftops on this one, which worked, and the snow on the trees, which worked. And then on this one, it was obviously the mop up. So whatever was left on the jelly plate, you could see the colors that I used. That then came, and I like that there was a bit of a bleed, and I like that it was a bit grungy. Yeah. So I'm going to show you in the stencil club how to create this print with a jelly plate, and alcohol inks. And the thing about the stencil club, we've started, in the new year, I'm teeing up all the various skills that come with gel press printing, with mono printing. And we already did the alcohol ink one. We've already done that one. Then there's the acrylic paint one, and so on and so on. So, and when you use a gel print or a jelly plate, stencils are a big part of that, which is really also another reason for joining the stencil club, because we're going to be using more and more stencils. One of the reasons why I wanted to clean my room, apart from that I couldn't open the door properly, yesterday and at the weekend, was because I wanted to have a completely clear workspace just for stencils and mono printing, so that I can move forward on these online courses. So if you're thinking about joining a club, and today is a very good day for joining any club, just saying, okay, not only will you find out how to make these wonderful mono prints and their ghosts and the mop-ups, but you'll also be getting 10% off, 12.5% if you join 2, and 15% if you join 3 clubs. And the clubs are not expensive, considering that you get the double projects and the products sent to you with a newsletter every month. It's a building game. The booklets all build on top of one another. It's a course. But apart from anything else, apart from getting top quality products and projects, you also get the discount. So there you go. I love a stencil. Yes, I do. Now, let me see. It's 11 o'clock, so I'm going to love you and leave you. I hope that you enjoyed that. Listen, friends, it's Monday. You've got the whole week ahead of you. Make it a good one, hey? Make it a good one. Enjoy it. Lots of love. And perhaps I'll see you this afternoon at 2 o'clock. And we're going to go back over those lovely poppets, but we're going to check out 2 things. One is the embedders. So we'll go through that again, how to use embedders. And then the second thing is how to use sticky ink with a mapping pen, because there were some questions about that last week too. I'm watching all the time. Don't miss too much. So I'm going to embrace the embedders and the mapping pen and the sticky ink. And I've got a little trick up my sleeve. So I'll see you at 2 o'clock. Lots of love. Paul, thanks for your help. Bye-bye now. Bye, Mum.